Now we have to be quiet while he's telling us the story.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below their town. For he knew every Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all those Who girls and boys will wake bright and early. They rush for their toys and then, oh the noise. Oh the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. And the Who's, young and old, will sit down to a feast. They'll feast and they'll feast. And they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding, or a Who roast feast, which the something the Grinch couldn't stand at the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, will stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and those Who's will start singing. They'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought of this. I must stop this whole thing. By the 53 years I put up with it now, I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat. I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. He chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but his reindeer rushed grace was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. And he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. And the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" The sleigh started down.
Ben, did you already sing your song?
Yes, for the Who's lay a stream.
I want Mama.
All the windows were dark, quiet snowfilled the air. All the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof with the empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace. The little Who's stockings hung all in a row. These stockings he Grinched the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room. He took every present, popguns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. He stuffed them in bags, and the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney. As he slunk to the icebox, he took the Who's beast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out the icebox, quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the Who up the chimney with glee, and now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. As the Grinch grabbed the trees, starting to shove, he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Who, no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd been got out of bed for a cup of cold water. He stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know, that old Grinch was so smart, so slick. He thought up a lie and he thought it out quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," quick Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here." And his vimp fooled the child. Then he patted her head, got her a drink, and sent her to bed. And when Silly Lou Who was in bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. And the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Oh no. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the Who's mouses. We're almost done. It was 1:15 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled, packed up their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, their tags and their tinsels, their dreamers and droppings. 3,000 feet up the spire from Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top, to Crumpet. Ooh, to the Who's, he was greatly happy. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming, just Up, I know just what they'll do. And Miles will hang up in a minute or two. Who's down in Whoville? Oh, cry, boo, boo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch said. I simply must hear. So he paused. And he put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook with a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet, eyes cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Puzzled 3 hours. Puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was solved. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. What happened then? Well, Whoville, they say, that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And that very minute, his heart didn't feel quite so tight. He whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. He brought back the toys and all the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.